Keep Right with Ralph K. Ginorio. Why only citizens can save the West. We need your help. Only citizen action can mandate the teaching of the history of Western civilization to every Idaho high school student. Led by Representatives Joe Alfieri and Senator Ben Toews, our state legislature here in Idaho is considering a new law that would require everyone pursuing a high school diploma as of the class of 2030 must take and pass 1 year of such a course. They face an uphill fight. Citizen action is indispensable because every element of the educational establishment has gone off mission from their core duty. Educational leaders have forgotten that schools exist to acculturate, to introduce young people to the skills and shared identity of their own society. U.S. citizens need to be taught about the truths that Jefferson once said we hold to be self-evident. The heritage of freedom has in it lessons of limited government, loyal opposition, and fidelity to constitutional means over short-term political ends. It includes Hammurabi's Code, the Ten Commandments, Athenian democracy, the 12 Tables, the Roman Republic, Judeo-Christian convictions, Justinian's Code, Magna Carta, the Protestant Reformation, the Glorious Revolution of 1688, the English Bill of Rights of 1689, Enlightenment philosophy, and English common law. America's public schools were first established to prepare the children of immigrants from all over the world to responsibly exercise their franchise by teaching this tradition. This is the justification for all history and social studies curricula. Yet, Idaho currently makes no requirement that high school students be systematically introduced to this unique cultural heritage, which produces, or should I say, which produced and continues to energize our republic. Currently, Idaho standards encourage 1 year of world history and civilization to be taught somewhere between grades 6 and 9. U.S. History 1 is now taught anywhere between grades 6 and 12. Grades 10 through 12 are now devoted to U.S. History 2, U.S. government and politics, and economics. This model fails to teach the deep heritage of the U.S. Constitution to every student when they are at least at a level of maturity able to benefit from such instruction. Most middle school students simply lack the intellectual sophistication and emotional maturity to understand the complexities and subtleties that comprise notions of human freedom and value. World history, by its insistence on being culturally neutral, does not sufficiently focus on the complex narrative history of the West, necessary to comprehend where our founders found their inspiration. United States history begins this tale far too late. If our founders' ideas are understood in context, they can be appreciated as the wisdom that results from thousands of years of intellectual history. If students have no sense of this context, of the deeper pedigree of their ideas, then the founders' convictions can merely be dismissed as outdated opinions. The reasoning that I'm explaining here is simply alien to the habits of thought trained into today's educational leaders. To the extent they vary from this, they are the exception to the rule, such as the wonderful superintendent of the Lakeland School District to the north of Coeur d'Alene. It's this institutional mindset that's why this kind of reform will never arise from the educational establishment. The very philosophical language that credentialed administrators use to consider matters of school policy have no words for what lies at the heart of this reform proposal. Their pedagogical training ensures that as a group, they will largely be blind to the need for a Western civilization requirement. Worse, they will be reflexively hostile to it because to them, requiring passing a year of Western civilization's history comes out of proverbial left field. Debbie Critchfield, Idaho's current superintendent of public instruction, understood this institutional prejudice when she went outside the educational establishment to add a financial literacy component to Idaho's school graduation requirements. She employed a legislative solution to this problem, a problem that was not seen as being pressing by the educational establishment. So it is with this reform. Only the public, which has not been misled into the institutional groupthink of most of today's educational leaders, can see the need for every Idaho student to systematically understand their own shared cultural heritage. Only citizens from outside the educational establishment have an understanding that there is more at stake in education than are dreamt of in their pedagogies. If you agree, please contact your Idaho State Representative and Senator to express your support for making passing a year of the history of Western civilization a high school graduation requirement. Thank you for your consideration.